Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. It is a football Friday on a Thanksgiving weekend. The Middle with Barrett Brooks and Harry Mays. And we got a lot of football to discuss from yesterday. We got a big Eagles game on Sunday against the Giants. The Giants have fired their offensive coordinator since we were last together. Penn State has extended James Franklin. We got a big college football weekend. Barrett's jetting out to Springfield, Missouri, right after the show to do a game tomorrow. And we're going to have Michael Bradley on at 11:30 today to talk about the big weekend in college football. And we'll even get his thoughts on, the start of the college basketball season too, because he's Mr. College on this show. Okay?
He loves college.
Well, yeah, and we do too. But I mean, he lives it. He's a writer. He does the basketball previews for these magazines that we all buy and all this kind of stuff. So we're gonna talk a lot of sports with him.
How key was he in the tournament, man? We were going through our brackets and how he broke it down, man.
I know. He's great. He's always great, and he's ready to go. He'll have his packed lunch with a turkey sandwich, like a fresh turkey from yesterday. And happy Thanksgiving to you, Barrett.
You too, man.
Now, you said to Xander and me before the show that how did you describe Thanksgiving? You said it was amazing.
Amazing. I got down. I sat down to some great food. Family all around.
Right.
I pushed the girls out the basement, made them all go upstairs, and all the men went downstairs. We watched football in the theater room. It was amazing, bro. It was amazing. And then I watched Dallas as I was consuming my second plate of turkey, brisket, mashed potatoes, and gravy. I watched Dallas just lose, and it just made my day.
Well,
it made my day.
That was a horror show yesterday. I thought the football was absolutely horrendous. It wasn't even good. It was awful football, if you ask me. I'm glad Dallas lost, don't get me wrong, but it was terrible football. That was on display for everyone to watch from 4:30. It seemed like that game took 4 hours to play because there were 28 accepted penalties in that game for 276 yards. I've never seen such a thing. It was outrageous. And we sit there and want to blame the refs. I don't really blame the refs because when they showed the penalties, they were legitimate penalties. like these players just were terrible. I mean, I don't know what the coaching is going on with these.
Exactly.
teams.
Like, come on, man. Just before you go out, especially you just saw Dallas commit 2 penalties in a row and push them back. You know what I'm saying? Going in the overtime.
Right.
And then you go down and do a stupid block in the back after you just saw them do. Like, what are we doing? What are we looking at?
I saw a bunch of poorly coached football teams on full display on Thursday between Chicago and Detroit and then Dallas and Las Vegas. Yeah, Detroit, I know he's your boy. He should get fired. He's terrible. His staff is terrible. They're doing an awful job. They actually had 3 penalties in a row on their final possession, Detroit. They had a false start and 2 offensive holdings back to back to back. Then they punt the ball to Chicago with 8.5 minutes left in the game and never got the ball back.
Saw it.
That was unbelievable. I'm rooting for them. I'm like, I kind of hope Detroit wins. Damn it! I didn't have any money on the game, and I'm just like, that sad sack Detroit Lions franchise and the fans that root for them. Let's give them something today. I was hoping they'd win the game.
You got Big Sean again at halftime like they did last year.
Yeah.
Still didn't do anything for him.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just awful. And then the Dallas game, man, I'm telling you, I'm watching it up there with my nephews, and they're even going, there's one kid's 10 years old. He's like, man, there's a penalty on every play.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's terrible. This isn't football.
I mean, come on, man. How does the center jump off sides? That's what I was trying.
Exactly.
In the last drive. The center jumped off side.
That's impossible, right?
Come on, man.
You snapped the ball.
Right. But I do see. First of all, if you look at him in his stance, his head is over the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's got it, unconventional the way he snaps it anyways.
Right.
And he did like this and goes up.
Yep.
Centers do that all the time. So I thought it was a ticky-tack call anyways, man, because that's what they do.
I guess.
And they go up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we were taught as an offensive line, when you look at center, like if it's on 2, he goes like this, comes up. The next time he comes up, you're snapping the ball.
Uh-huh.
And that's how we timed it like that.
Right.
I don't know why they would call a penalty because they've been doing it all day.
Yeah.
All day.
How many times were guys lined up offsides?
Right.
Like Parsons, they got him a couple of times doing that. It was just terrible. Like, I don't know, man. There's something wrong in Dallas. I will tell you this. There's something wrong down there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I tell you what, though. Parsons is the real.
Oh,
he can't be stopped, bro.
Oh, no, he's a total talent. There's no doubt about it.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about making the right decision. Oh, you never draft linebackers in the first round. That kid there. Right.
Yeah, he's a difference maker. There's no doubt about it. Now, he didn't make the difference yesterday, but I mean, there was 940 yards of offense in that game. And both teams were 3 of 13 on third down. So it's not like they were clicking off third downs. They weren't. I mean, they got to a lot of third downs, but they were still moving the ball all over the place.
I don't understand, man. I don't understand how you can have a back like Zeke and Pollard throughout the whole season and them not be as big of the impact as they should be.
I know. It seems, it seems like almost impossible. Like, I just think there's something wrong that I think what we're seeing now over these last couple of weeks with the Cowboys, I mean, forget about, I know they were down their 2 receivers. I get all that. But still, I mean, they scored enough points where they should have won the game.
Right.
But there's something wrong, and I think it's the Mike McCarthy effect. It's beginning to rear its head now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what Aaron Rodgers kept at bay for all those years because of how damn good he is. Like, McCarthy sucks.
Well, you know what? I'm really starting to see that. Really made me think about how good A-Rod really was during that time. Because I didn't know, I thought McCarthy was a good coach during that time because everything was running seamless.
Right.
And it wasn't McCarthy.
No, it was the quarterback.
Right. It was all the quarterback. And that's crazy that, I thought that it was all McCarthy. He did nothing. And now I understand why A-Rod was I was like, why is A-Rod talking bad about him like that? He is like talking crazy. I'm like,
he was talking the truth. That was
right.
Truth.
He was telling the truth, man. Right. I was like, oh, okay, I understand now.
Right.
I understand.
Right. It's all clear now.
Horrible, man. He's horrible.
He is. And what's up with that beard? I mean, come on.
I mean, we all see you. We don't need to see any more of you, man.
I know I got the mustache, but if I had that, I don't know. It looks like a mess.
He looks a mess.
He does. He is a mess.
His team looked the same way.
Exactly.
Dak Prescott almost pulled it out.
I know.
Like, he looked terrible for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden in the 4th quarter he wants to turn it around. Play like that in the beginning of the game.
Right, and now apparently post game or something, he's basically doing the old us versus them thing with the fans.
Oh yeah,
like saying, "Oh no, there's a lot of fans that are going to jump off the bandwagon." And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's the fans' fault.
Right. Whatever floats you.
Right.
They did it. They were out there playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were jumping off sides.
I had seen enough of those first 2 games. I didn't even watch any of the night game. I knew what I was going to. I had enough of Trevor Siemian last week. Okay. I've seen enough Trevor Siemian for the rest of my life. I didn't even need to tune in. You watched that, I guess?
Of course I did. And it's only because I had family over. Everybody was still there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to go home.
So this is a way to not have to deal with them, right?
Yeah, so I just kept watching.
Game. Right.
Just kept watching, man. I just pushed right through it. And as soon as the game was over with, I went upstairs, and everybody came upstairs, and I just politely, I pulled a Kaiser Sose on her.
Oh, you did?
Gone. Maybe never to see him again. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how does a guy as big as you disappear like Kaiser Sose in your own house?
Poof. I was gone.
Is that right?
I was gone, man. I was upstairs, man. Everybody like, where's Barrett?
Barrett?
Then look, as I turned over, I heard him say, where's Barrett at? I went right back over. You don't need to see me. Right. You don't need to see me at all. Y'all saw me enough today.
Yeah. I gave you enough of me today. Right. That's what you're saying.
I got to save a little bit for the weekend, you know?
Exactly. Well, now you guys had a big show when I was gone, right? You had D Gunn and Rob Ellis on here.
D Gunn, Rob Ellis the first hour, and then I had Big Silio, man, the second hour.
Big Sills.
I didn't. You know what? It's funny, man, because you must be the truth, bro. Because I needed 3 people to take the place of you.
Right. Yeah, I must be the truth. It's right. Xander actually just messaged in. You described your Thanksgiving as unbelievable. That was the first word he said. Then he said amazing.
I wasn't done yet.
Okay.
As I was down there watching the game, my son My young son, my son is 23. He's 23 or 24, one of the two. He pours me a drink.
Yeah.
Brings it downstairs to me. So I'm sipping on it, sitting there talking to him.
Now, what was the drink?
It was Hennessy.
Oh.
Hennessy.
Nice.
On the rocks. So I'm sitting there sipping when we're talking. He said, "Hey, Pops, you need anything else?" You know what? I would like a piece of that chocolate cake. He runs upstairs and brings the cake down to me.
Hennessy and chocolate cake. He's going to ask you for money.
Bro, first of all, I looked at the cake, see if there was something in the cake or he might have poisoned me or something.
You need a food taster.
I was waiting. I'm like, what's going on? But hold on. This was the absolute best was. He said, "Hey, Pops, the trash people are going to come tomorrow. Maybe we should take the trash out tonight." I was done. I was done. He brought it up to me to take the trash cans out to the curb so the trash man could get it the night before. He has never done that.
So what's going on?
He didn't even ask me for money.
What has happened?
I don't know.
Somebody body snatched this guy?
Is that my kid?
Is this really your son?
Is this my kid? And he didn't ask for any money. He didn't ask me to work on his car. He didn't ask me anything. He didn't ask to borrow anything.
Right.
I didn't know.
So did you question? Did you say, what's going on here?
Yes, I did. He said, "Nothing, Pops." He said, "Nothing, Pops. It's Thanksgiving, man. I'm just thankful, man."
Nice.
I was like,
wow.
There we go.
Hennessy and chocolate cake.
Hennessy, chocolate cake, and I watched Dallas lose. How does it get even better than that?
That is unbelievable.
It was.
Yeah,
come on, man. My son asked me to take out the trash. Oh my goodness. That's never happened. He lived with me for 20, 22 years, 23 years, and has never asked.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't know what's going on. I'm telling you, I had to check my cake, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel my pulse, make sure I was alive. You know,
is this all a dream?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So tell me about the D Gun and Rob Ellis hour.
Oh my goodness, man. So these two, man, of course, we go back and forth, to start the show off about, who's the better caretaker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, why does everybody think they need to take care of me? Like you guys are my biggest inhibitors. No, it's not the case. I take care of business. Right. I just don't check emails. I don't check phone, text messages.
So was this like a 2-on-1 against Barrett?
They double teamed for the first 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
For the first 10 minutes, it was pretty tough, man. I had to navigate my way through it. I eventually got through it. You know what I'm saying? Came out on top. But yeah, man, I got double teamed. You know what I mean? And it was cool after that. Then we talked about a little bit more about the lady, cussing.
Mayor from Havertown.
Yeah, Mayor from Havertown. We talked a little about Mayor from Havertown a little bit. Then we talked about the NFC East, man, and a real possibility now that this team could possibly win the division still.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that loss yesterday coming. You actually did.
I did.
You said they were going to lose, so credit to you. And you ended up being right. CD Lamb did not play.
Right.
I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference or not with how penalized they were. And that cornerback, I started to feel a little bit bad for him.
Yeah.
That Anthony Brown. My goodness. What do you have? 4 pass interference penalties against him?
That'll get you cut. That'll get you on the hound.
Wow.
Great
the hound. Right.
right.
Right. He was like a 6th round pick.
Right.
So it wasn't like he was, but he's been there a bunch of years. He's got a couple interceptions and so forth. But man, boy, did he have a day. And how bad was Tyron Smith on the offensive line?
And I promise you, man, for up until 2 years ago, he was the best left tackle in the league for a long time. For a long time, he was. In fact, he was up there along the lines better than I think than Jason Peters towards the end of his career. He was that good. He was that dominant of a player.
Right.
And I just didn't understand.
Peters played yesterday. He actually didn't do half bad yesterday.
Right.
Jason Peters.
I couldn't believe the ageless wonder.
I know.
He showed his age though, but he's still out there, man.
Yeah,
he's still out there.
It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Tyron Smith was bad. I mean, it's just I don't know. There's something wrong with Dallas, and it couldn't have happened at a better time.
Well, let's look at it. You got a new defensive coordinator. Everybody loves him. They're playing for him.
Right.
But what is the difference between what you saw last year and this year when you have the talent that you have? They're starting to implode. They're starting to pull a Dallas already. Usually they wait till the last 4 games to pull a Dallas, but they're starting early. This team has the most talent in this division. it's almost an embarrassment of riches when it comes to the wide receiver position, the running back position,
right?
the offensive line position.
The tight end's pretty good too.
Yeah, the linebacking position. We're talking about guys that are really, really good. Even one of the safeties, man, he's pretty good.
What,
but
Curse?
Curse, yeah.
He was out of position in a couple plays yesterday. Took some bad angles too.
Right.
But yeah, when he was playing earlier in the year, he was making a lot of plays.
He killed us.
Mm-hmm.
He killed us. So I don't understand, excuse me, how this team is imploding like this so soon. I mean, you got far superior talent than anybody else in the division. The best quarterback in the division. The best receivers in the division. I can't say they're the best offensive line because the Eagles have shown the ability to be the best offensive line and not just in the division, but in the league. I mean, to be able to run the ball on anybody whenever you want to, that's like a gift from God that you just got to smile and be like, look, this is crazy.
Yeah,
it's almost surreal.
That was impressive what they were able to do against the Saints. Now I'm a firm believer in it because it is now their identity.
Right.
The fact that they were able to do that kind of a performance against a pretty stout front and the best run defense in the league was very impressive.
Right. And it's I'm sorry. Happy Thanksgiving, Mom.
Yeah, I saw that on there, Mama Brooks.
Yep. You too, Mama Mays.
Hoping I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. I didn't feel a thing. Seriously. No, I get all the props to this oral surgery place, man. They put me.
I cannot believe it, man.
They gave me like the the little. All I felt was the pinch in my arm where they put the IV. And I'm talking to them, and I started to feel a little bit woozy. I go, it's kicking in, and they're like, yeah, it should be. Next thing you know, I'm out, and I woke up like what seemed like 10 minutes later. It ended up being 20 minutes later with cotton balls in my mouth. And that was it. No pain, no gain, no nothing.
You don't have any pain now?
No. None.
See, that's a good job by your surgeon, man. But you can't do anything. You can't suck on straws or anything like that because you don't want to get a dry sock.
For the next day. That was on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. I had got a dry sock at one time, man.
Did you?
Oh my God,
that's
the worst
bad.
feeling in the world, man. I'm like, you guys must have left a piece of that nerve in there or a tooth in there or something, man. But and I had to go back, man. They had to fill it, man. Just with cotton and all that type of stuff to stop the pain, man. It was like one of the worst feelings of pain I've had in my life. I've experienced some pain, but that was by far the most. That's one thing you can't deal with, man.
Right.
It's your teeth and your feet, bro.
Right.
Either one of them, man. You just can't do it, bro.
Your feet. Don't forget the feet.
Right, man. Right, man. I'm like, I played for years, bro, and you mess with your feet, bro, or your mouth, man. It's hard to even concentrate.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah, you
sleep.
can't think. You can't think. You can't sleep. You're right.
No,
yeah.
You tiptoeing around, man.
You got to be taking care of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got big problems with Dallas. Now, look at their schedule. They've got pretty much the same schedule as the Eagles do because the division plays each other a lot over these next couple of weeks. But they have the Saints next week.
Yep.
And the Saints might be healthy by the time Dallas plays, and Kamara should be ready to go, right?
Yeah, and both tackles were back. Yep.
Yeah, and the tackles, right?
So they lost this week too, right?
Well, yeah, they just lost to Buffalo.
So So at this point, they're good. They got a 3-game losing streak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 4 games.
No, 4 games. 4 games.
4-game losing streak.
Correct.
Dallas doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of beating them.
That's gonna be a tough game. In fact, I'll try to find a look-ahead line for that. I just saw that the Eagles are favored against the Jets next week by 6.5 on the road.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. We'll try to get a line here for Dallas and the Saints. Eagles 3.5 this week. That line stayed solid. Dallas is actually a 5-point road favorite at New Orleans.
What?
Yes. 5-point road favorite.
Wow.
That's pretty significant.
That is very significant.
Okay. So let's just say they win that game. That would be their 8th win.
Oh, get
right?
out. Yep.
So, and let's say the Eagles win this week and beat the Jets. That would get them to 7 wins. Right?
Exactly.
Dallas with at New Orleans. They got a 3-game road trip coming up, starting in New Orleans, where they're a favorite. Then they go to Washington and the Giants, all on the road. And then they have Washington and Arizona at home. And then they finish, of course, in Philadelphia. See, but the interesting thing is now that game may very well mean something significant for Dallas. So there's a good chance we'll see them at, whatever full strength they've got.
I wouldn't mind
they wouldn't be resting guys, in other words. You know what I mean?
See, I wouldn't mind it simply because we now have the kryptonite for this Dallas team. They're great when dealing with the pass. They can stop the pass. They got pass rushers up front. But these pass rushers are small. So when you run the ball on them, they're so small that they got to move around. And once you get them out their gap, you drive block them. That's when you get those chunk yardage. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with a good pass defense, they're usually smarter and more shifty type of guys. They can't hold up against a double team or just straight on drive blocking. And that's what the Eagles do. They just straight drive block you. They're not fancy. They don't, beat around the bush. They're not trying to be all intricate in their design. They just want to be smash mouth. I'm going to hit you. You know exactly what we're calling. I'm calling a double team right here. We're saying deuce to 58. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're deucing, double teaming to 58.
Right.
And when you can go against a team that you can't stop that, that's just like poetry in motion. That's the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever. And that's what makes this team so good because they can now drive block. That's the only thing that Dallas can't stop.
Right.
Is the run.
Now, they're going to be getting some players back here next week. DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory are scheduled to come back against the Saints.
That makes a true difference.
So their defense is going to be getting healthier as it goes along. So you got to keep that in mind too.
Right.
But it's just kind of interesting to see them, falling apart again towards the latter part of the season. That Arizona game, I mean, that's at home, but man, Arizona's good. What are they, 9-2? Arizona's 9-2.
Yeah, they played well. What's his name? Colt.
And they played well with Colt McCoy. They've gone what, 2? Are they 2-1 with him?
Yes, 2-1
as the quarterback. That's pretty good.
Colt McCoy, and that defense with that defense paired with that defense. Like right now, I think they're ahead of everybody in the NFC. If you look at probable NFC opponents that could be in a Super Bowl, you have to consider them. You still have to consider Green Bay.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You still got to consider
the Rams and the Rams too.
Rams seem like they're just shook right now. I don't know what's going on with them, man.
Yeah, I know, but they just got so much talent.
I know, man. I think they'll turn it around. They need to turn around on the defensive side of the ball where they got the talent at.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't know how they're gonna, get things going in the right direction because it's not really big plays that's beating them. It's simple plays. They're not going to catch anything on Ramsey, so they're going away from Ramsey, and they get a lot of production from going to the other side. They're not messing with Ramsey because Ramsey will pick anything you throw at him. I mean, he's that good, bro.
Right.
He just shuts down whoever he's on. But the guy on the other side is not playing well, so they're taking advantage of it.
Crazy. I'm just trying to figure out how, like if Dallas wins next week, they get to 8 wins. Washington and the Giants, they're not going to win all 3 of these road games in a row. They'll probably go 2-1, would you say?
Yep. I say 2-1.
So that gets them to 9. And then they have Washington at home. They'd probably win that.
Yep.
Get to 10. Then they lose to Arizona. So they're at 10 wins when they face the Eagles. Is that fair?
Yes, that is fair. And there's no way we can realistically, there's no way we can catch up with them. But I'm still thinking, what if we have more division games?
The Eagles would have to run the table to get to 10 wins before they face Dallas.
Right.
I mean,
it
seems like a tall order to beat Washington, the Giants, and Washington, all 3 of those games. I could see them losing one of those games.
Well, we always lose a game we're not supposed to win. I mean, lose, man.
Right.
It always happens.
Can't lose to the Jets, man. It cannot be the Jets.
No. Everybody but the Jets.
Right.
But
I mean,
now
there's one thing that does kind of concern me about the Giants game this week.
What's that?
And it's just the fact that they fired their offensive coordinator. Like the timing to me, I'm thinking they might be able to stand up for 1 week.
No.
No, you don't think so?
We're talking about
doesn't that
Kitchens.
wake up the play? I know who it's Freddie Kitchens. I get that, but I'm just saying from the player's perspective. Don't you think that gets their attention for at least 1 week? Like, hey, we got our coach fired.
But, bro,
you don't think
your quarterback is still so bad, man?
Yeah.
I mean, even though he has great plays, he has big plays against us, he's still so bad, man. And they just keep up the pressure on him. They just don't have an offense that's running on all cylinders. I mean, even with Saquon, I thought with Saquon coming back, he would be the equalizer. Even he played bad the last game.
Yeah,
now, I know this is another week plan that he's going to get back in and get his legs underneath him. He'll be back ready to roll.
Right.
And I think that's the only threat that they really have is him. Daniel Jones is just not a threat. He's not a threat. They're going to have to be able to stop the run. By all means, they got to stop the run. I don't care about passing. I don't care about their threats. I don't care about, none of their receivers. We got to stop the run. And not just Saquon Barkley, but also Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He can run, man. They run a little read option. He killed us last year with that play. We can't afford to let that happen.
Under Jason Garrett, the Giants offense scored 42 touchdowns in 26 games.
What?
Only 42 offensive touchdowns in 26 games. The lowest in the NFL.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, he deserved to be fired.
Right. I hate to do it to him, but he did it to himself.
And this Gettleman guy, the general manager.
Yeah.
You know what they are since he took over for Jerry Reese?
What's that?
18-40.
Come on, man.
18
That's their record.
And 40, correct.
Joe Reese was good, man. Reese won 2 Super Bowls, man.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they let him go.
Joe Judge is 9-17 as a head coach, and he's throwing his weight around this week, firing people. Like he acts like a real tough guy. This dude, doesn't he?
He acts like he's like Sergeant Slaughter.
I know.
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? I'm gonna run you guys to death.
Yeah, bro, check yourself. You stink,
bro. 4 guys retired because of him.
I know.
4. 4. Come on, man.
I know.
I just don't see. I don't see the schematics on the offensive side of the ball. The schemes are just horrible, man.
What are they trying to do?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I don't know if we talk about that play where 3 receivers ran into each other. I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to high-low the defense. You know what I'm saying? And they had drag routes. 2 drag routes and then a under roof route. And then, the defense actually pushed them into each other. I understand that, but still, you can't look like the Keystone Coppers out there, man. You can't.
That might have been the final straw.
Yeah,
just how bad they looked. It was embarrassing.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Who ran the same play, but it scored a touchdown? The Eagles ran the same play down there, and they scored a touchdown with it, where they had a bunch to the right side, and the touchdown to Smith. That's exactly what that play was. Exact same play. 2 drag routes going across. But you got to stutter the second drag route. You know what I'm saying? Because one guy's supposed to open up the window, and then the outside receiver is supposed to slow down a little bit, then run the drag route going across, and he should be the open because the window the first crosser opened up the window for him. Well, those 2, I don't know how all 3 of them got bunched up into each other. I know the drag route from the other side, the little shallow crossing route. I know the linebacker kind of, made the receiver go over the hump, which allowed him to go into those guys. But still, schematically, it's not supposed to happen, man. I don't see how it happens. Timing, which is off.
We got to take a break. We're going to have Michael Bradley when we come back, all right? Stay tuned right here to the middle. Pound that like button on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, and we're back in 3.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you. Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Oh, yes, indeed. There he is. This is the biggest weekend in college football every year, and who do you go to talk about it? Right there he is, Mr. Michigan. He's in his colors. He's already tailgating, pre-gaming for the big game tomorrow at noon. Michael, welcome to the show, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I can't start tailgating yet. I have to withstand a visit from my wife's family for dinner tonight, and then Saturday.
You better hope they're not listening.
Saturday is all football. I'm going 3 TVs. My son and his girlfriend are in from Chicago. They're big Wisconsin fans, so they'll be watching the Paul Bunyan Axe game at 4:00.
Okay.
And I invite a select group of 3 guys over to watch the Michigan-Ohio State game because it has to be a totally serious room, and I have to count on their support.
Well, You know what, man? That's kind of throwing me for a loop because you're not the one to have people around you when you're watching your football, bro. Your Michigan football, man.
Yes, this one. And you're right. It's tough. I watched the Penn State game in a bar,
Right.
and people were not pleased with my behavior. So,
Well, now, is it true that people bid on this opportunity to come over and watch Michigan, Ohio? It's sort of like getting tickets to the Masters.
No,
it's
I
like you
couldn't
send out the letter. Sorry, you didn't make the lottery this
I
year.
couldn't let some Schwantego show up at my house who I couldn't count on.
All right. The Paul Bunyan game's at 4:00. What shape will you be in by 4:00? Because the game will be over. What do you think? Will you be celebrating? Do you think tomorrow?
No, I think that Ohio State's too good. I mean,
yeah.
Now, I think the game against Michigan State was a bit of an outlier because people should remember Cade McNamara, Michigan's good, not great quarterback, threw for about 385 yards against that secondary.
Right.
So it only stood to reason that C.J. Stroud was going to go off.
Right.
However, I just don't think Michigan can stay with those receivers. I mean, that Olave and they're just too good.
Well, just looking at, you got Heisman hopeful sitting over there. The moment's always too big for, your record with Michigan and Ohio State, the past couple of days. It's past couple of years.
What is it?
It's ugly. I don't think. I think Michigan hasn't won since like 2013 or something, or
like 0-8 or something. Yeah,
yeah, it's been bad. And now we got hosed in Columbus a couple of years ago. I mean that guy did not make it on 4th and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ohio State boosters money gets a big assist on that one, but it was bad. But Harbaugh, look, everybody's going to make this a referendum on Harbaugh. Harry and Barrett, we sat here in August and talked about Michigan. And if you had said to me, look, I guarantee you that on November the 26th, Michigan's going to be 10-1 playing at home against Ohio State, I would have signed on.
You'd have signed for that. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be an amazing game.
They are 5th in this college football playoff ranking for whatever that's worth heading into this game. Let's just say Ohio State does win. What about Alabama? Alabama will beat Auburn, but then they play Georgia again in the SEC championship game. They're a 4.5-point underdog as we speak. If Alabama, is there any way they could survive as a 2-loss team and still make the playoff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, say the Alabama-Georgia game is a real slugfest, and you've got, at the end of the game, it's 38-37 on a last-second field goal by Georgia. They'll say, look, you can't leave Alabama out.
Yep.
So that's
well, I mean, would you be good with that? I know they might say it, but would you be good with that?
Good. I would not be good with that because of 2 losses.
Right.
If both teams are undefeated and then Georgia beats Alabama or Alabama beats Georgia and it's a close game. Now, here's the thing. Say Alabama does beat Georgia. That's Georgia's first loss. Alabama's got 1 loss. They're both in.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
If you're a Notre Dame fan, and let's face it, that's the only other team really that has a shot at this.
Unless you guys beat Ohio State.
Well,
then you're in the top 4.
Ohio State and then wins the Big Ten championship game over probably Wisconsin.
Right.
Then they're in no matter what. But if Alabama beats Georgia, then they both have 1 loss. If it's a close game, now if Alabama beats them by 50, then you've got a different story. But I doubt that'll happen. You would then go Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati still, they still lurking, man. And that's still a great possibility. Strength of schedule is the only reason why they're not in. But they beat Notre Dame, so I'm just thinking, they should just at least have a look, man.
Well, they're ranked 4th right now.
Cincinnati's in.
Yeah.
If Cincinnati beats East Carolina today, which it
and
should
then Houston
by 2-3 touchdowns, and then beats a good, Houston will be ranked.
Houston's pretty good. Yeah.
Houston's a pretty good team. If they beat Houston, Cincinnati's 12-13-0. Cincinnati's in.
I still think they get hosed
because you can't put Notre Dame ahead of them. They beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame. That's the big question there.
Right,
and I'm with you, Barrett. They'll get their it's definitely a hosable situation.
Yes.
Put it that way.
I still think so, man. No matter what their record is, I still think they get hosed, man.
Look, to me, if you're a fan of Cincinnati, you're not worried about Michigan and Ohio State because it's an elimination game.
Right.
Whoever loses will have 2 losses and will be out.
Right. Now,
the Georgia-Alabama thing, to me, only applies to Notre Dame.
Well,
Notre Dame wants to get in, then Notre Dame gets that. Then they need Alabama to lose decisively.
Well, one other thing. I'm sorry, Harry.
That's right.
The Oklahoma State game. That game right there alone might host Cincinnati. The winner of that game might host Cincinnati. That's what you got. 7. It was a 6 and 7 or 7 and 8.
Oklahoma State's 7th.
Yeah.
One
of those guys might leap over them.
Yeah, if Oklahoma State wins big, then who will they play in the Big 12 championship game? Since they don't have divisions, it's impossible. Is it Iowa State?
Iowa State.
No,
it's Baylor.
Is it Baylor?
I think it's Baylor, isn't it?
I don't know.
But
that's why we have you on here.
What's that?
That's why we have you on to tell us these things.
The Big 12. I once Oklahoma lost, I paid no attention to the Big 12.
Right. As you should.
I'm sorry, Barrett. I don't know offense. I'll be watching that Kansas State Texas game.
Yo, that's right. That's today.
Yeah, 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Only to see Texas lose again.
Oh, I love it.
I'm a big Wildcats guy today because I want to see that program just because here's what you do. Here's the formula now. If you are a big time program, Michigan, Ohio State, you are now going into Texas and trying to cherry pick 1 or 2 guys. You're in Southern California trying to pick 1 or 2 guys because USC's a mess. And now you're down in Florida where everybody stinks, and you're trying to pick 1 or 2 guys out, 4 or 5 stars, because they're not going to go to these awful teams.
Yeah. It would be Baylor, by the way.
All right.
It'll be Baylor.
So if Oklahoma State trounces Oklahoma and beats up on Baylor, there's a chance. Because, again, this is a vote. It's not – I mean, if we had a 12-team tournament, we wouldn't be worrying about anything.
Right.
Well, I don't know. That's what – because I'm doing FCS tournaments right now, man. I got to go out. I got
Tennessee Martin against Missouri State.
Missouri State at Missouri State.
Wow.
Doesn't get any better than that on Thanksgiving weekend, Michael, in Springfield, Missouri.
You got to say it the way the 25 and under crowd says. It's Tennessee Martin.
Oh, Martin. Oh, yeah.
Anymore. I teach public speaking. I teach public speaking in Villanova, and I'll write the word Morton up on the board, and I'll say, "Somebody want to pronounce this for me?" Morton.
Yeah. That's classic. All right. So the only way Notre Dame gets in is if Ohio State loses, or no, Ohio State wins.
State, it's going to be either or.
Yeah.
Now Notre Dame could get in. Say Michigan beat Ohio State and then lost to Wisconsin. Notre Dame's in.
Okay.
Right. Then Alabama gets beaten by more than a touchdown to Georgia. Notre Dame's probably in. I still don't think an Oklahoma State team's going to jump Notre Dame, because sitting in the back of the minds of all these selection folks is one thing: TV ratings.
Right.
The Stillwater ADI ain't quite as impressive as Notre Dame du Lac's national reach.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. All right. Now, what did you think of Penn State extending James Franklin for till 2250?
Yeah, right. I think that it had to be done because they're not sure who they would get. Everybody's like, "Oh, go get Bill O'Brien again." It's like, do you really want Bill O'Brien again? Because Bill O'Brien wants to be a pro coach.
Yeah.
And so you can go get Fickle from Cincinnati. I think Fickle's holding out hope that Day takes a pro job.
Right.
So who do you end up getting then? And Franklin, he's an imperfect coach if you're a Penn State fan. And I happen to think he's a little irritating. But
why you say that?
He's got a great recruiting class coming in next year. A top 5 recruiting class right now. Now Alabama will sign 4 5-stars in the next 2 weeks and go past them. But the brand is doing well. So,
and he's trying to get them to reinvest in the facilities, right?
That's the thing.
That's the rub
you have to have. And if I'm Franklin, I'm the condition of my signing the contract is you're going to make that investment.
Right.
You have to.
I talked to a coach the other day who was in Northwestern's new facility, which he says is one of the top 5 in the country.
Really?
So Northwestern is spending that kind of money. Then Penn State has to have a better. They all do. It's an arms race.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
A&M's got an amazing one. LSU, of course, Oregon does. Clemson's got that ridiculous.
Look at Texas. Texas, the guys got big screen TVs.
I don't know how Texas loses, much less goes under 500.
I agree with you.
It's incredible.
The only thing that it could be, frankly, is that Texas high school football isn't as good as everybody says it is.
Well, that might be the case.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this. When Herman took over at Texas, the facility stunk. They just rebuilt. They built a new building, and they put a new set of luxury boxes on one end of the
stadium,
UT stadium. But I don't get it. How is A&M? A&M is even got they are spending a ton of money.
Well, you have to, man. Started all that. Oregon started all that.
Yeah.
Well, it's Phil Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he went out there and he had these new uniforms. And kids look at the kids that don't even care about the quality of product that they're signing on to. They just care about how they look when they run out on the field or how the facilities look. I went back to did my game at Kansas State, bro. And I look at the facilities now. I'm like, yo, this college facilities are better than pro facilities now.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're better than pro facilities. It's crazy. They have a hill. They actually built a hill inside of the workout room, inside the building. It's a hill. They run hills in the building.
Down the hill?
Yes. Oh, I didn't run up and down that hill.
No.
Oh no.
What do you think happens at Florida?
That's a real good question. Now they've apparently this betting sites have suspended because Napier is thought to be the guy they're going to get.
Louisiana Lafayette, Napier?
Billy Napier. It's just Louisiana now. They're not saying.
Okay.
It's just Louisiana. Ooh,
all right.
Louisiana.
So you got to try to make it sound like one syllable.
Okay. Louisiana. All right.
So I think he's the presumptive guy, but I mean, Mullen had it going.
I know.
And he almost beat Alabama back in week 3 or something.
And ever since then, it's just
played Boston College.
It went the other way. Yeah. Crazy how that can happen.
Wow.
Now, what about the Temple football situation? I know you keep an eye on that. It's a disaster. my God, they've been out. I forget what was the outs? They've been outscored like 250-50 or something over the last 6 games.
Yeah, it's bad. I was bummed a couple of weeks ago. They were playing someone. They were like 32-point favorites, and I said to my buddy, "I don't have an app because I don't want to have an app because I don't want to." But I said, "Get down on that, please." And he fouled up and didn't put it on there. So, look, Temple's got a real tough needle to thread. They've got to every 3 or 4 years get a new coach who's good. Yeah. And it started with Golden. Adazio wasn't horrible, but he got out of there as fast as he could. Rule,
well, he was out of there before he even got there. He was looking
Rule
to get
was
out.
A godsend. For who was after Rule? Collins wasn't bad.
Collins, yeah.
But this guy was not the guy.
No.
And this is the problem. So now you have to say, and look, Golden had the right formula. You play non-conference games against teams within 2 to 3 hour drive of you. You recruit Philadelphia out to Harrisburg, maybe a little north, go down into the DMV where you can, go to Wilmington, etc. Go into New Jersey and pick up what Penn State and Rutgers don't get, and you're all right. But so someone can do it, but I don't know where you go. I don't know who wants the job.
261-45. That's what they've been outscored in the last 6 games.
That doesn't sound right.
Who wants the job? Right. You're a lot closer to this than me.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you who would want it is there's 3 guys on Rule's old staff that are now elsewhere. Ed Foley would want it. He'd take it in a heartbeat. I think Fran Brown up at Rutgers would take it if they offered it.
He's a hell of a recruiter, right?
He is. He
Fran
recruits the hell out of New Jersey, and was part of the Rules staff, and also Mike Saravo, and I think he might be with Carolina in some capacity, or maybe he's out of coaching right. He was with Baylor, with Rule and Baylor too. But those 3 guys, I think, would either take it.
Yeah, I just don't think
Foley may be a little old to have it. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if you did it, it'd be almost like rewarding him for a lifetime of service, and you say, is that the right move right now? They need someone to come in here and put some juice back into the program.
All right.
Fast.
Well, do you think Miami's coach, might come back?
Manny Diaz?
Diaz is right on the hot seat right now down in Miami.
Diaz is on a real hot seat. But they just fire the athletic director?
Yeah, they have a new athletic director.
Which is not a good
You know what that happens. Yeah.
Right. Not a good That's like when you get a new program director.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
We know all about that one.
Who's this guy on his midday show?
Yes.
Is he any good?
I'm not sure that he's the guy that we need.
Maybe I got the wrong guy.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. At another place where I used to do some work, that when the new program director came in, I was told that I'm not a big enough name to be doing an Eagles pregame show. So that's why I was removed.
Wow.
I've had that happen before too. I've been told that I'm the worst. What did you say? I was the worst Eagle that was on radio at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that guy's not around anymore either. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
It's nice when that happens, isn't it?
Isn't it great?
I mean, look,
he said, look,
man.
Look what Hollis is doing. I mean, Hollis get great numbers. I mean, look at Hollis.
Barrett, I just remember going to an Eagles training camp one time, and Hollis came out in a pair of those unbelievably baggy shorts that were like they looked like they needed to be cuffed because they were pants. It was hilarious.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you about Hollis when he first got in the league, and I invited a bunch of the young guys over to eat dinner with me and my family. So we had like 8 sweet potato pies. He takes one of the sweet potato pies. He takes it, he folds it over like a taco.
What?
And peeled back the aluminum and ate it like it was a
my
taco.
God. Are you serious? Oh, I would like to watch that actually. That's incredible.
That's what he brings the pie in, you know what I'm saying? So, everybody's thinking like, all right, we're gonna share this pie.
like it was
like a taco.
That's great.
That is phenomenal.
That's my guy, Hollis.
That is great.
Oh man, mad respect for that.
Yeah, that is exactly.
All right,
that's some ingenuity or what?
Yeah, that is. Speaking of who wants what job, who wants the USC job?
Everybody keeps saying that USC is a great job, and I'm not sure if it is. First of all, it's a private school, so you can't have a great walk-on program. And everybody's like, well, who walk-ons play at USC? It's not that. It's practice bodies. You can have 20, 25 guys there who also practice. So Southern California is a great place to recruit, but USC hasn't been good in so long. And John Calipari said this to me one time. I don't know if I've said this on this program. Tradition to an 18-year-old is 3 years. So they couldn't care less about Anthony Davis going nuts against Notre Dame in 74. Or
John Robinson, those teams.
John Robinson, Todd Marinovich.
Right.
Matt Lyon. I don't even know who Matt Lyon and Reggie Bush are. Matt Lyon and Reggie Bush are guys who are on television right now.
Right.
So for them, that's tough. They're going to hire. And here's the other thing. You can't bring somebody from the East to the West.
Yes.
Who doesn't know the coaches, who doesn't know the area. Because here's what's going to happen. If I'm Mario Cristobal, I know they're talking about sending him back to Miami. If I'm Mario Cristobal, I say, listen, I'm staying at Oregon. I'm going to recruit the heck out of California because there's nobody there who's going to be any good. And he'll eventually get into the playoff up there. He gets down to Miami. That's another spot.
How in the world did they lose to Stanford in that overtime game? Is still beyond me.
Well, that's the Pac-12. You never have to worry about the Pac-12 being in the tournament as long as you got to be undefeated to get in, because there's going to be something like that happens every time.
All right, just tell me UCLA is going to beat Cal this week.
What's the spread?
It's 7.
Oh yeah, that's it. Where is it?
It's I think it's.
Is it in Berkeley?
I think it might be. Hold on a second. I need them to get to 8 wins.
Why?
Because I have a.
all right. Okay.
Bet.
I was going to say and Chip Kelly. I hope they lose every game.
Yeah.
I'm rooting against UCLA.
They buried USC
and the Jacksonville Jaguars very hard because I want Urban Meyer to be one miserable SOB.
Yeah, he looks like he's miserable. He really does.
Question.
All right, UCLA. Let's see where this is. Damn it, I should know. It's no, it's at home. It's at the Rose Bowl.
Why is it only 7?
Yeah, it's a weird line. I know.
Yeah, that's a funny line. So I'm a little worried about that.
I know. All right,
I think Maximum Leader is going to take care of it, though.
You would think. College basketball just started a couple weeks into it. What's some of your early impressions? Barrett was very impressed by Gonzaga.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I got a big scoop for you. Gonzaga's good.
Oh, right? Very good, man.
That Holmgren kid who looks like if you hit him hard, remember those little things you had as a kid? You push the button and the thing goes like this. And
yeah.
That's what he looks like, right? He's like 7'4", 110 pounds.
Right.
But he had that move the other night where he pulled the crossover and then went down the middle of the lane and jammed on everybody. And I'm saying, holy cow.
They took care of UCLA too.
And then you got Timmy.
Right.
He's unbelievable also. Now, he's a real horse's backside because he's always doing this. But they're really good. I want to see how they do against Duke tonight. And I want to see Banchero, who's really good.
Yeah. Now, he got in trouble. Didn't he get picked up?
No, here's what he did. This is my thought on how this happened. He's in his own car while Krzyzewski's grandson is driving.
Okay.
Krzyzewski's grandson gets pulled over, blows a .8, gets DUI. He gets facilitating a DUI, Banchero, because he let someone drive his car who was drunk. Here's what happened. The two of them were out. Banchero was blasted. Krzyzewski's grandson goes, I'm cool. He drives home. I love the fact that Coach K would not suspend Banchero for anything.
Right.
This is a disciplinary instance inside our program that we will handle on our own. That guy doesn't get suspended for anything.
Right.
But he's really good.
But
and did I tell you my nightmare? This is mine. I woke up the middle of the night earlier this week screaming. My wife's like, what's wrong? It came to me. Duke's going to win the national championship. We're going to have to listen to Jim Nantz interview Coach K at the end. Hello, friends.
Oh, no.
Okay, what a way to go out. Well, this is a tribute to everybody who's playing at Duke.
I bet if they were playing North Carolina A&T or something this week, he would have suspended him.
Oh, no, they had 3 layup games before.
Oh, they did?
Yes, he played. They had Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he played.
That's John Chaney's alma mater.
I know.
Yeah. Speaking of, what do you think of them early on? Not too impressed. They can't shoot.
I previewed them. I talked to Aaron McKee back in August, and he's going through the lineup, and I'm going, Aaron, you got anybody who can get you a bucket when you need one? It's like, he's got one guy, I think, who can do that. But their weeks, LaSalle is, St. Joe's is not. mean, we don't know anything about Penn because the Ivy League's like its own little enclave, right? They'll play everybody, and then they'll get in the Ivy League and go 10-2 or something. So but I'm worried about Temple.
The Wildcats?
Basketball.
Yeah. What are they looking like? Villanova. What are they looking like?
Yeah.
Villanova's as thin as Chet Holmgren. Their bench does not exist right now, and that's a problem. He thought that, first of all, you got Brian Antoine who can't play. He's still out. I think Jay was hoping he'd give him 10 minutes in the backcourt this year. The freshman, Nana, is supposed to be giving him 10 minutes off the bench, rebounding and defense, and he hasn't been playing. And everybody's like, just throw them in. Well, they're playing good teams. So I think they're going to be good, but they got to develop two other guys that they can count on for 8 to 10 minutes a game.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive what Purdue did to them, though, the other night with that comeback.
Purdue's good.
Yeah, they're legit. They returned a lot of guys, didn't they?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Once Travion Williams came back, they were lethal. And Edie is a monster in the middle. He's like the chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right? He just comes in and goes, juicy fruit. He's just so much bigger than everybody. He catches the ball and just puts it back in. Right. Like the Bumble in Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. Look at what he can do. The star on top of the tree. I'm sorry, on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Put the star on top of the tree.
If you had to pick a Final Four right now, who would you think is in it? Gonzaga and who else?
Gonzaga for sure. I'm going to still say UCLA will get it together because they got a lot of talent.
Yep.
I would say that
but they wouldn't be in the West Regional then. Gonzaga would host that, and they'd move UCLA to the Southeast or something. Yeah.
That's tough because everybody thought Texas was going to be great, and Texas is stumbling around. I'll put
Connecticut.
I'm going to put Kentucky in there.
Okay.
I think they're good, and he'll have them playing together. And I'm going to put I hate to say it, but maybe I'm just doing this because I'm afraid. But Duke.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy. You don't like Connecticut?
I don't know if they're good enough inside yet. I mean, they got guards, but watch Banchero tonight. He made a move earlier this year. He had the ball on a low block, and he did a turnaround fallback. And a lot of times when college kids shoot that, they don't put the necessary arc on it. Nowitzki was great because he'd shoot the moon ball on that. He put it up so sweetly, and it went right in. And I said, wow, that's tough to deal with in college.
Right.
What time is that game tonight?
I think it's not till like 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's late. Yeah, I'm with you, Harry.
Out on that.
Now you're like me. Now, do you DVR this stuff like I do? And
no, I don't have time to do it. It's like tomorrow. I'll be up at 7 tomorrow, and for 5 hours I'll be on edge.
Right.
Waiting for setting up the third TV, going out, get some food.
Can you put up a live video stream of you guys watching this game?
I got a friend who's worse than I am, if you can believe this, and he goes to the games. And I'll tell you the story. He was at the Michigan-Ohio State game in Columbus the year that they got screwed on that call on 4th down. And he's sitting in the Michigan section. He is screaming so loudly and violently at the Michigan players and coaches because he disagrees with what they do that the woman in front of him turned to her husband and said, "I thought we were in the Michigan section." This guy gets so angry that people in his section don't want to sit around him.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm serious.
Oh, I got to meet this guy.
Oh, he's insane. And the funny thing about it is, so they play 7 home games, 358 days out of the year. And before the game and after the game, he's the most sanguine, calm, happy guy. But for 3 hours, he's, "You stupid idiots!" He's at the top of his lungs. He's screaming in the crowd.
That's great. Oh, man. Now, you don't know Mare from Havertown, do you, personally?
I don't, but she's my hero.
Wasn't she great? She was great.
The best line I saw, and I don't know if you boys are Catholic, but this is a great line. It said, 100% she teaches CCD, which is that's for the public. That's the religion classes for the public school kids at the parish.
Right.
So I can see her right now. Okay, here's a story of Jonah and the whale. You miserable.
You're right. Fantastic.
Have
all
you
right,
had
Michael.
her on?
No, we didn't have her on. We had a good discussion about her. Robbie Ellis actually dubbed her Mayor of Havertown. I thought it was brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Great work out of him. All right, have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy the football, and for your sake, I hope Michigan plays well.
Thanks. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, guys.
All right, there he is, the great Michael Bradley. He's fantastic.
No question about it, man. No question about it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. We got another hour to go, or actually 50 minutes to go, because Barrett has to jet out to the airport to travel to Springfield, Missouri, and he doesn't want to be like that Geico commercial.
Yeah. Somebody should have left earlier.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back in 3 right here on The Middle.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
All right, our thanks to Michael Bradley for joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Daily Ombre, spelled Hombre. He's great on Twitter, too. Barrett, your boys, did you just get up to turn the television on to watch Kansas State and Texas? Because they're about to kick off here in a few.
I just found my remote. I was looking for it.
All right. Do you know what the line is on this game?
What is it?
Texas was favored by 3 at home. So that's a pretty good line for your boys, I think.
Well, they just lost to Kansas. They're a little pissed off. So
yeah, that's true. This might not be a good week to play them.
Right.
Well, then wait a second. They lost last week to West Virginia.
Oh,
so that's been 2 weeks since the Kansas game.
Wow.
Yeah, because they lost. Yeah, the Fighting Kevin Kincaids beat them 31-23 last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we beat West Virginia.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but we just lost to Baylor.
Oh, right. Well, Baylor's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas has lost 6 straight games.
Unbelievable.
I mean, seriously.
And my roommate from college
is
the receiver coach for him. So, right now, I'm kind of torn because I gotta root for him a little bit because his job is on the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that some bodies will have to be sacrificed
Yes.
It probably won't be the head coach because he just got there.
I mean, he just got there.
Yeah.
It's not his team.
Right. Now your K-State team. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. They won 3 in a row, then lost 3 in a row. Then they won 4 in a row, and lost last week. So they're having kind of an up and down year, but they're going to a bowl.
Oh, no question about that.
Yeah, they're going to a bowl.
They're just good enough to not be good enough to be able to go to a bowl game.
Right. All right, let's get into this Eagles-Giants game here, because I want you to give me your take on what the Eagles have to do in order to assure victory on Sunday.
Stopping the run, man. Stopping the run.
Right.
It's not the it's not the offensive side of the ball that we have to worry about. It's the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to stop the run. They can't let Saquon get it going, and they can't let Daniel Jones get it going. If both of them are in sync and they're running the ball successfully, that means you have to put somebody else in the box to stop.
To account for you got to account for that quarterback too.
Right.
That's the thing.
And their receivers are too good to leave out there and play man to man, So they need to heat him up. They need to heat Daniel Jones up and stop the run. I mean, offensively, they'll score. They'll run the ball on them because, like I said, they're smaller, pass rushing type of defense. So they'll put some pressure on them. They'll run a rock on them. They'll win the time of possession. But it's just when they aren't on the offensive side of the ball, they've got to be able to stop the run. That's the key thing, stopping the run. In fact, you know what? See, that's why I love working with you on Football Fridays.
Right.
Because that's how I get, things done as far as sending my my prediction in.
Oh, okay.
That's how.
Well, let's just do it live right now. Your prediction, basically. We'll verbalize your prediction right here on the show.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off. It's imperative that this Eagles defense stops the run. They'll score enough on the offensive side of the ball, but can Rich Gannon play a defense in which he plays up tighter on the wide receivers?
Jonathan
Gannon.
Yeah. Don't put Rich in your pick.
Not that he's going to be throwing the rock. He's calling the defense.
Right.
But can Jonathan Gannon do it?
Well, that's interesting, though. Like, what do you think Jonathan Gannon thinks of this quarterback? Because you've been spot on. He doesn't respect him. So this is another one of these guys, in his view, like a Teddy Bridgewater or a Trevor Siemian, where he's going to allow his players defensively to play a little bit more aggressively.
Yes, and
is that what you think?
And they're gonna throw run blitzes at him.
Okay.
And run blitzing is a little different from pass blitzing because usually in the past, you usually send them from the outside. Run blitzes, you try to do more on the inside. You need to run linebackers through the gaps. You need to make sure that you have some. You don't want to run too many games or slants because if you stop one guy from getting into his gap, it leaves a huge hole. So you got to run blitzes and hopefully your guys can get up the field enough to stop the run. Penetration kills all run plays.
Right.
And if you can penetrate, have those guys play more one gap than just staying in their gap, you can win. But you can only do that if you send run blitzes at them. That now tells the defense you can get up the field because if they just run regular defense, it's hard to one gap. I mean, it's hard to one gap because you're like staying in your gaps and you're sitting there. But when you run blitz. That's telling your defensive lineman, get up the field, get as much penetration as you can because we're bringing down linebackers inside the gaps to try to influence the run, just from penetration.
Now, I know you didn't play in this stadium, but you played many times at the Meadowlands. What kind of a home field advantage can that be? Because this team is awful. Like, I don't even know if their fans care anymore.
That was never it was never the fans that made their home field advantage.
Was it the wind?
The wind inside was they hated it. Kickers hated it and quarterbacks hated it. And they always used to open the door on one side of the field.
Right. Parcells used to do that. That was his old deal back in the 80s.
And it works too, man, because you look, first of all, you see, when you look up there when they have the ball and the flags are like dangling down like this. And all of a sudden when they're punting, all of a sudden the flags are just like this. Flowing in the wind because he's open the other side, knowing this, it's an unfair advantage. And nobody really called him on it either. So they just kept doing it.
Yeah.
They just kept doing
That's home field advantage right there.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. Like
Smart by him.
Michigan plays on an all grass field.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they let that grass grow all week and all last week too, to try to slow down these wide receivers from Ohio State.
That's smart, man. That's
know?
smart, man. Gain every tactical advantage you can, man. You know, you get just little things like that. You know, like the greatest show on turf. They did the same thing with them.
Right.
Let the grass grow a little longer so they slow them down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when your guys are used to playing like that. Like Tampa Bay, man, that's the best stadium to ever play in. That's the nicest grass.
That's one of the nicest games I ever did a game in. To be honest with you. Yeah.
When you're on that field, man, it's like it's almost better than a putting green.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. It's real easy to get to from the field to the press box. That was always. I'm telling you, some of these places like Penn State, it would take forever. The elevator is the slowest elevator in the history of elevators at Penn State at Beaver Stadium. It's awful.
Everything is awful at Beaver Stadium.
It really is. It's rickety and old.
I know, man. Then you can't get in, can't get out. I mean, this is, you know, how do you have one road leading in and out of town?
I know. You need like you need jet helicopter service to go do games there. I'll tell you. You're not kidding. Now, how can I stay up for this Duke Gonzaga game tonight? It tips off at 10:30.
Because
there's no chance.
You don't have a snowball chance.
No, I got no chance. I might as well just set that DVR right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I get off the plane at 9:00 in Springfield, so I'll just be getting in, sitting down. In fact, the game will start before I get to my room because I land at 9:00.
Now, is it 9:00 their time? So it'd be 10 o'clock here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said it'd be nice. So I was just getting in and getting settled in my room before I get. That means I'm not even gonna have a chance to get food before I sit down and watch the game.
Oh man,
that sucks.
Yeah,
that really sucks. But now, I gotta watch it though.
Now, is there any kind of like does White Castle do like DoorDash or any of these apps that you could sit there in your hotel?
Not
and
there.
Just no,
not now. They do have it in New York. You can DoorDash or Grubhub in New York because they're all around.
Mm-hmm.
There's none in Springfield. I can almost guarantee there are no White Castles in Springfield, Missouri. Now, St. Louis, 3 hours away.
Right.
I have a fighting chance. Maybe Kansas City is 2 hours away. I'd have a fighting chance, but not in Springfield, Missouri. No White Castles.
I want to check up here the injury situation for the Eagles. Jeff McClain, this is the latest thing from him, was practice report yesterday. Jordan Howard did not participate. Darius Slay was limited.
He'll play.
Concussion.
Howard won't play.
Yeah, Howard's out, I think.
Yeah. And I'm thinking they just brought up the kickoff returner / running back, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
Let me look.
I'm not sure. They should have Boston Scott do some of that stuff.
Bro, that would be the best thing, man, because he's so explosive, man.
I know.
He's so explosive, man. You don't really know how good of a player he is because he only gets a small, limited, chance to be out there. I mean, they gave him more opportunities. He'll play better and better. He could be one of those guys, but he's a volume carrying type of guy also. So looks like they didn't bring him up. I thought they were.
I'm not seeing anything here.
Jason Huntley, I'm talking about.
Oh.
I think they activated him. I think they activated Jason Huntley.
Really?
Yeah,
Jason
now he's a
Huntley?
kickoff returner. Now he's the real deal. He's quick, he's fast. They give him a chance to return. He did very well in the spring. I mean in training camp.
Yeah, they did. They called him up for week 12, it says.
Yeah, so that just goes to show you that Rager hasn't done anything because they brought him up to be that back to make some things happen in the return game.
So now, would we have ever seen this guy play except in the preseason?
Nope,
Huntley?
just in the preseason.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think they got him from Detroit.
Oh, okay.
They traded from Detroit like last year. He was on the squad last year, but he was just in the return game. They also play him a little receiver too.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they're out on Rager as a returner, he's going to run out of things to do.
Well, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem because I'm thinking that Gainwell might make another appearance now that Howard's out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he makes more of an impact in the passing game, putting him in slot position. I'm sure he's been playing a lot of receiver. Hence, that's why they gave him a number 14 number.
Right. Huntley actually played in 5 games last year.
Yeah, special teams. Yep.
Right. He had 5 carries for 19 yards.
He's explosive.
And actually 1 pass catch for 0 yards, it looks like.
He's very explosive, man.
Right.
Give him the ball. You just got to give him the ball.
So you think Slay is going to be good to go?
I think Slay will be good to go. Yeah. I mean, he's on a high ride. He's riding the wave right now. You don't want to stop that.
Oh, I know.
You
He's
don't
had an
want to
incredible
stop that.
couple of weeks.
Oh, no question. He just solidified himself into the Pro Bowl for this year.
Right.
You know, and he keep playing the way he's playing, man. He might be Defensive Player of the Year. He's been that good.
Wow. Really?
That good.
Player of the Year?
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
I don't know. All right. How can the Eagles lose this game?
If they go out, they let Daniel Jones be an impact, man, in any type of way. You know, I know he won't beat him throwing the ball, but he can beat him with that zone read, you know, that type of stuff.
Read option stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and not necessarily him making a big play, but doing stuff like converting a third down. You know what I'm saying? If after a while you're on the field a long time, the defense gets tired, man. And if he runs and gets a couple, you know, then that's what makes Hurts so dangerous.
Right.
Because he keeps the chains moving. His ability to go out there and convert third downs, you know, when you have him dead to rights, and then all of a sudden he breaks out and gets the first down, man, that's you know, that hurts the defense, man.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a backbreaker. You're thinking you're getting off the field, and all of a sudden he converts with his legs at third and double digits, and you're like, damn.
And when that starts happening, that's when things starting to unravel for you, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because guys start trying to do a little more than what they should be doing instead of just doing what they're supposed to do. You know, that's what really sucks, because you want to make sure that, you know, you're not the cause of why they're making this happen, but you can't go out there and be a superstar and do more than what you're doing. And that's what guys do. You know, they want to do a lot more. That's what Fletch said he was doing. He was trying to make a play, and he went to go make a play and got pushed out of the play because he shouldn't have been, you know, jumping the gaps like he did.
Yeah, this Giants team, their first win this year was against the Saints. And that was back when Jameis Winston was still a quarterback.
Yeah. Remember they
it was on the road.
Didn't they have Kansas City on the ropes?
I can check.
They had Kansas City on the ropes.
John Ross caught a 52-yard touchdown pass for their first score. So they made a big play.
Wow.
They got on the board early. Kicked a bunch of field goals. Saquon Barkley had a 54-yard pass from Daniel Jones, too. And then another touchdown. So Barkley scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
That was their first win of the year on the road. So it shows that they're capable.
They're very capable. I'm telling you, they had Kansas City on the ropes when they were playing them.
Yeah, they lost 20-17 at Kansas City.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago. That was an ugly game, if I remember.
Very ugly game.
Yeah, turnovers left and right. Yeah. Let's see here. Kyle Rudolph scored for the Giants in that game. And Evan Engram. So 2 tight ends, 2 touchdowns. Kansas City kicked a bunch of field goals.
They kept, for some reason, in that game, he kept throwing interceptions. Like he threw an interception at the goal line. You know what I mean? And they intercepted it, you know, when they were going in to score. He had like 2 or 3 interceptions in that game.
Mahomes?
Yeah.
He had 1.
1?
It says 1 here, yeah.
It was a fumble or something also.
And so did Daniel Jones.
It was a bunch of plays, you know, where it just looked a real sloppy game.
Kelsey lost a fumble in that game.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Going in to score too. It was in the red zone.
Right. So I get the feeling that you're giving this Giants team some respect.
Oh, no question. I am.
Yeah.
And that's only because if you don't stop Daniel Jones early, you got to erase all hope from him, because he's the type of guy that he can keep the sticks moving just by running, you know, and doing little things like that. Like, he's not going to beat you in the pass. He's not going to beat you down the field. What he does, he beats you with the little things, like getting a first down here on third down, or maybe, you know, running a zone read option. You know, he'll bust one for like 40 yards on you. You know, remember he had the Bambi play in our stadium when he ran like 60 yards and didn't score on it because he fell.
Right. The turf monster got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just little things like, was it our stadium or was it in, I think it was in our stadium. Yeah, it was in our
I'm not
stadium.
sure.
Yep. So they can do little things like that. And Saquon's going to want to get it going. they got to make sure that that if they can stop the run, they got a legitimate chance of winning and winning big. But you can't give them any hope, none whatsoever.
The Giants beat the Raiders too a couple of weeks ago. I remember that. A couple of picks from Derek Carr. And let's see, Daniel Jones, 15 to 20, 110 yards, and they win the game. Isn't that amazing?
See, it's the little things, man.
Devontae Booker ran the ball for 100 yards.
See?
So they didn't even have Saquon, and they beat him.
That's not
I just
not
don't,
a team you can't hang around. You wouldn't want them to hang around, man.
I just don't think any of these division games are all that easy.
No.
They just never are. Even though, the Giants looked god-awful last week.
And that's what sucks because it's still the division game, but it's not necessarily the division game that they should lose, but they always lose one that they shouldn't have lost. They're always in a position where they're there to win the game and just trick it off. And that's a problem, right?
Even though they've owned the Giants. What did I say? 12 of the last 14 they've won.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I can't believe we split last year because we went up there and we lost to him, and he ran the ball well on us.
The quarterback did.
Yeah. He ran the ball well on us.
I want to look at that game because I kind of forget that. During the COVID, with nobody in the stands, it was just weird watching football last year. Wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It really was.
The fake crowd noise, playing in an empty stadium. It looked like practice, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're just watching practice.
Let me see. Okay, here it is. It's 27-17. That was November the 15th last year.
Yep.
Daniel Jones scored the first touchdown on a 34-yard run. Wayne Gallman scored.
That's right.
He scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he ran all over us.
Right.
He ran all over us.
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm saying. We got to make sure we stop the run.
Gallman had 18 carries for 53 yards, and Daniel Jones 9 carries for 64 yards. And he also threw for 244 with no turnovers.
And you got to make these guys turn over.
Carson Wentz didn't turn the ball over either. He fumbled twice, but didn't lose any of them, and didn't throw a pick, and they lose the game.
Yeah,
that's pretty bizarre.
Bad. He looked so bad, though, man. Things weren't working out, He just looked bad in that game.
Yeah, 5.6 yards per attempt. That's pretty low.
Right.
Yeah. Miles Sanders ran the ball well.
I know, but I remember they ran they were going in and they were in the red zone. And he had a guy wide open in the end zone. I think he had like Ertz wide open in the end zone.
Oh, Wentz did?
Yeah, and he checked it down or threw, and it was just a bad pass like Greg Ward. No, Greg Ward was open in the end zone. He threw it to Zach Ertz, who was double covered. And you got Greg Ward Jr. just sitting in the end zone all by himself, and they're in the red zone. I'm like, come on, man. And
Jalen Reagor actually caught 4 passes in this game last year.
Oh, can't say that I remember that.
Yeah, for 47 yards. He was targeted 7 times.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't remember that.
I know that I saw this morning on Twitter, Brandon Lee Gouton, who's great, by the way, covering the Eagles. He posted the quote from Howie Roseman as to why they took Reagor over Jefferson. It was because of fit. And I'm like, fit? Justin Jefferson fits any team. What are you talking about, fit? That's double talk nonsense.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
what
really.
does that mean, man?
Oh, I just can't get that out of my head. I really can't. Yeah, fit. Let me go get it because I want to read it to you.
Right.
This is great.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I don't remember saying that because I didn't want to hear anything. I was just out on it, period.
Right.
I can remember when I was sitting there because it was me, Barkan, and Ray. And when and D Gun was there too. And they were talking about, picking up Jalen Reagor. And I looked over, and we're on TV, so I looked over. Then I can see the guys in the box. I don't know if everybody else can see them, but I can see the guys in the box. and I saw Ray said, he said, Jalen Baker. And he said, he was like, first round?
Really?
Right. That's what he said.
He's probably looking at his league. Where did I have Jalen Ray?
He did.
Yeah,
he didn't have to look. He said,
I had him in the 3rd round, Barrett.
That's what he said. He did like this. He did just like this. Because I can see them, but you guys couldn't see it, you know.
Right.
But I'm like,
all right, here it is. The question was, what set wide receiver Jalen Reagor apart over Justin Jefferson in particular? Howie's response: you're talking about really good players, and it's just the fit. It's how the coaches envision these guys being used and what they're looking for to fit our quarterback's skill set.
Oh, no.
So that's what we were trying to do. Find the right fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Are you serious? Right. Justin Jefferson wouldn't have been a fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't care if he's a square peg. He'll fit in any round.
Right. Right. Fit.
Oh.
And see, that's the whole thing. Like, there you are in the 1st round of a draft, and you're looking for fit. Shouldn't it be best player of it, like the best player on the board?
Yes.
Right?
There's only certain situations where you can talk about a guy fitting what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely was not the case because it didn't matter. You could put Jefferson back there returning kicks if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You could line him up at the slot. You could line him up on the outside. I think they were more so thinking, all right, we don't want an inside slot receiver. And at the time, Jefferson was playing slot for LSU.
Right.
But his first 2 years, he was playing outside. He came in to play slot because Chase was there.
Because they have other 5-star studs all across the board down there. My goodness.
They just had better players, and they just put him in wherever they could. And he's that type of player that he could just do that. He could play wherever you want him to play.
All right. Now, do you know we should be also rooting this week for the Minnesota Vikings?
Why is that?
Because the Minnesota Vikings play the San Francisco 49ers, Barrett.
Okay.
And the 49ers own the tiebreaker over the Eagles.
Yes, they do.
So we need to have them lose more football games.
That's a must. So I am a fan now.
See, this whole thing with Dallas losing yesterday has kind of, now shifted, what we're thinking. Let's look at it. I'm going to give this to you right here. All right. San Francisco is currently the 7th seed right now as in the playoffs. So they're the last seed. Eagles are 8. If San Francisco loses, they go to 5-6. If the Eagles win, they go to 6-6. So they would have a half-game lead on the Niners. They'd be ahead of them. No longer, they wouldn't be tied. And the Vikings would be 6-5. But don't worry about them. They'd be the 6th seed. You're just trying to get in.
Right. You got to get in the dance in order to dance, man.
Right.
You got to get in there.
So let's look at San Francisco, the remaining schedule after Minnesota. In fact, we'll take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back on the other side, and we'll start the last segment of the show with this. All right?
Definitely.
All right. You're listening to The Middle right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Smash that like button. We are back in 3.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hardworking American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
And we're back on the middle. Football Friday. Barrett's going to be jetting off to do some college football tomorrow, and then you come back immediately after the game, and then you got to get ready to do pre and post and stuff for the Eagles-Giants, right? It's a busy weekend for you, man.
I can't wait, man. You know, this is what I live for. You know, this time of the year, it's starting to get cold outside. This is when things starting to matter. That's why this Eagles team is in a great position, because it's when the bad weather come out, the inclement weather comes out.
Yeah,
that's when running the ball consistently really makes you a definite threat. You know, as you go through the rest of the season. You know, you got to be able to run the ball, number one, play good defense, number two. And we've got one of those things taken care of. We're starting to see a little bit of defense, winning defensive football also.
All right, let's look at this 49ers schedule. They play the Vikings at home this week. We're big Vikings fans. Sunday afternoon in the late window. Then they go to Seattle, which Seattle's not playing well right now, but that's never an easy trip in the division game. It's you know, it's kind of like us playing the Giants this week, and it's never easy on the road in the division, regardless of the records.
It's going to be a fight, you know. That those guys, that's bad blood right there.
Then they go to Cincinnati. That's a tough game.
Very tough.
At Cincinnati. Atlanta at home. Then they go to Tennessee. That's a tough game. That's looks like it's a Thursday night game, I want to say. Yeah, NFL Network. That's got to be Thursday night. Right? Yeah.
It's starting to unfold, right, man?
Yeah, and then they have the Texans, and then at the Rams. They finish at the Rams. Rams will probably need that game for some sort of seeding or even just to make the playoffs, maybe.
Yep. The Rams, man, they're in a predicament, man. You know, they're not looking good. You would think that defense, with all the firepower they just brought in for them.
Yeah,
it's not working out for them yet. I guess those guys need to gel together a little bit.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't be able to block that defensive front. You know, it should be foregone conclusion that you cannot block them. They're just too good up front, but they just haven't been. And the 49ers are starting to turn things around, though. You know, that's what I'm scared about, because they are turning it around.
They looked good against the Rams the other night, Monday night. Now the Rams play the Packers this week in Green Bay,
and they just lost. The Packers just lost, but then the Rams just won, didn't they? They lost two.
The Rams have lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking, man. Look at their offense, man. They should be scoring some points, man. This will be the second week Beckham's in the offense now. Cooper Kupp, still one of the best receivers in the league.
Right.
We'll see, man. Tyler Higbee, better tight end.
I like him.
I love Tyler Higbee.
I like Higbee. Yeah, the Rams have the Packers on the road. Then they have Jacksonville at home, at Arizona, Seattle at home, at Minnesota, at the Ravens. and then the Niners. So that's not a couple of tough games in there.
Just look at our schedule as compared to everybody else's schedule.
It's so much easier. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
like, what is going on?
Well, that's just the thing with the division just being so down year after year. These last couple of years, it's just been brutal. But it plays to your advantage in this situation. It really does.
For the first time.
I was looking to see, because as the Eagles are getting better as the year goes on, might they get flexed into a Sunday night game?
Well, the 18th is still an open day.
What do you mean the 18th?
18th of December. It's still an open time, whether it can be on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at the Eagles schedule.
All right, let me look. Well, I mean, I know it by heart, but they got the Giants, then the Jets on the road, back to back in the Meadowlands.
Yep.
Then they have Washington at home, right? And then Giants.
That's flexed.
That's going to be a flexed?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Well, the 19th. They have a time with it now.
Yeah, 1 o'clock on the 19th is
okay.
is the Washington game on Fox.
Well, they didn't have that at first because it was just an open date. It was an open date at first. So they finally put a time with it. They just put a time with it today.
That's the week after their bye week.
Right. They just put a time with that.
And the Sunday night game that week is New Orleans at Tampa Bay. So that's another chance for Brady and the Buccaneers to be on TV nationally. So I don't think they're bumping them for Washington football team.
No.
And then the next week, wait, 15. The week after the bye. I must have screwed this up. The 18th, there is no Sunday. The 18th weekend, there is no Sunday night football. All the games are during the day.
Why is that?
Well, because I guess they just don't want to have some team play at a disadvantage having played late.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they just finish it up. Week 17, it's Minnesota at Green Bay. Nobody's bumping that game.
No.
Week 16, it's Washington football team at Dallas. The old rivalry renewed. Is it still a rivalry?
Well, if you ask Dallas players, they say it's either the Giants or Washington. It was never Philadelphia.
Right.
That's some old hating stuff right there.
Yeah, that is true.
It was never Philadelphia. It's always been either the Washington football team or it's been the Giants. We never thought of you guys as a rivalry. Yeah,
right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they play the Giants and then the Jets on the road. Then they have their bye week. Then Washington at home, Giants at home, then at Washington and the Cowboys. That's as good as you can ask for at this point in the year.
And all you got to do is you just got to cross your own T's and dot your own I's. Don't worry about who the opponent is. Keep doing what you've been doing, man. Like I said, have those guys a bunch of nameless, faceless guys in those helmets. Just worry about what you do best.
Right.
For the first half of the season, that's all they were doing, worrying about, all right, well, if you look at this, they're ranked 28th against the pass. We're going to have to pass the ball. No. You heard Nick Sirianni say, well, we knew we were going to have to score some points against Dallas because, don't worry about what they're going to do. You worry about what you do best.
Right.
That's how championship teams play. All right, this is what we're going to do. If we can't do it, then we'll, make some adjustments.
Right.
But we're going to do what we're going to do and not worry about anybody else or what they got going on. And that's the only way that you could beat a team like that. That's the only thing you can go. That's the only way you can go into the season thinking. Because other than that, man, it's just trouble, man. Just trouble trying to, go out there and be something that you're not. Do something that you're not good at.
Now, how's this for scheduling? Like, we just had New Orleans on Thursday Night Football on Thanksgiving night, right?
Right.
With Trevor Siemian. Next week, they're on Thursday Night Football against Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they have the Jets. Then the next week, they're at Tampa on Sunday Night Football. Prime time. Then the next week, they play Miami at home on Monday Night Football.
That's crazy.
Isn't that enough, Trevor Siemian and the damn Saints?
Well,
they thought they were
good. They thought they were going to be good, but I guess they made that schedule before they knew Drew Brees was going to retire, man.
They must have.
I know they weren't doing that,
we got New Orleans scheduled for 7 primetime games. What? Drew Brees is retiring? But even so, at that stage in his career, he wasn't even that great to watch the last year or two. You know,
No, he wasn't. His
that's
arm was
awful.
shot.
That is awful.
You know,
so we got to start.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him on the? Did you hear him on the Notre Dame games? Have you listened?
No,
to him on the Notre Dame
I
games?
haven't watched one Notre Dame game with the sound on yet this year. I'm probably going to wait until whatever bowl game they play. Seriously.
Well, I watched the last game. They played against Georgia Tech.
Okay. That was like a 52-0 game, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, Drew Brees pretty good. He's not what you would think from, other upper echelon quarterbacks, as far as the forward thinking and seeing what's developing in front of them and predicting what's going on.
Right.
Most quarterbacks, when they do that, but he's not at that point just yet.
Now, Dom Lewis just checks in here on the stream. We love Dom. He says, "My brothers, I didn't know there was a show today. Good afternoon." Now, obviously, Dom does not have the notifications for the show. You got to
check.
You got to
click that.
Click that, right?
Yep. Click it.
It'll let you know when we're doing. How could we avoid a show today? It's a football Friday.
You can't miss football Fridays, man. We have sacrificed.
Right.
We've been told by the bosses that we can have the day off.
We were
on a football Friday, and we decided.
Wait a second. This is breaking news. Are you serious?
Yeah, today.
Really?
He said we could have had off today.
Really? I didn't know. Nobody told me.
That's why we're here. They didn't give you the memo. They told me.
Right.
No, we gotta have a football Friday.
No, we have to have a football Friday, man. Come on, dude. I'm fired up for college. How are your boys doing? I can't watch the television while I'm doing the show.
Well, I can't get to the. You know what? I got to talking to you about the Eagles, and then I got all.
They're on.
Let me see. Kansas State football.
Oh, you do that thing?
Yeah. It works for me.
It does.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's on Fox.
Oh, it's tied 7-7.
7-all?
Yeah, 7-all.
All right.
Texas has the ball. They ran a QB sneak with a tight end.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they got it.
Wow. I want to watch this.
I cannot believe they're 4-7.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've lost 6 straight games. I mean,
it doesn't even look right.
I don't know how you lose 6 straight games at a school like Texas.
Exactly. All the facilities and, everything they have in front of them.
They have their own network, for God's sake.
Right.
I mean, that'd be like, can you imagine how much heat Notre Dame would be getting if they lost 6 straight games?
Oh, there's no question. They're getting heat right now for losing to Cincinnati.
I know.
Still. And then to lose. Come on, man. That Kansas was the epitome of all right, you guys just checked out on the rest of the season.
Yeah.
To lose to Kansas. They didn't think they were going to win another game that year.
Yeah, think about that. Like if you're a Texas player, then you eventually become a Texas alum, right? The fraternity of Texas Longhorn football players. Like those guys are going to have to carry with them forever that they were the part of the Texas team that lost to Kansas at home.
Just to put that in perspective, right?
Yeah, think about that.
That is awful, man. Awful. What can you say, bro?
Seriously.
You can say.
Seriously.
Nothing you can do about that. We all see it. We all saw it. I can't believe you guys lost to Kansas.
Yeah. Georgia may beat Georgia Tech by 60 tomorrow.
Oh.
How's Georgia Tech going to score on them?
That's what I'm about to say.
The schedule.
They might blank them. It might be 70-0.
I know.
Easy. And that's the type of defense, those players are like, they better not score on us. That's what they're saying. They better not score on us.
Right. Well, that's the only thing that these Georgia players right now really have to play for because they know they're heavily favored every week to win the game. It's not you have to sort of create your own challenge within the game as a defense to say, yeah, we're not only are we going to win, we're not going to let them score an offensive touchdown on us.
It'd be against our religion to let them score on us. They better not score on us. The coaches will be pissed. They make them run afterwards or something,
Yeah. But, I mean, how great will that game be against Alabama in the SEC championship game? That's going to be phenomenal.
That's going to be an amazing game.
That and then
Clash of the Titans.
Hopefully Ohio State and Georgia will meet at some point, whether it's in the championship or the semis.
Right.
That'll be a great game.
I want to see how they're going to do that, how they're going to seed those guys anyways.
Oh, seed them?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's Georgia 1, Cincinnati 4. So that would be the other game, and then it's Alabama, Ohio State right now, 2-3
right now.
So I think Georgia beats Alabama, and a 2-loss Alabama team
is out.
I would think so. No,
they would have to be out.
The only thing is, though, if Michigan loses, they're 5. Notre Dame right now is 6, I believe.
Yep.
Can Notre Dame jump all the way up in there by beating? Who do they have this week? Who do they have? Stanford or something?
Yeah, Stanford.
They do? Well, they should roll them.
That should be real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Stanford, who are 3-8.
Yeah, Stanford beat Oregon though. That's the only thing they've done this year. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Me neither.
It was in overtime. I know that.
I know Kansas State beat them early. Stanford early.
Yeah, like week 2, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, Notre Dame's number 6, and your Oklahoma State Cowboys are 7.
Well, Stanford's their last game, so
yeah,
they got to be very convincing.
A 2-loss Bama still could make it, man. Michael Bradley's right.
So, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because like I said, you even look at Oklahoma State. You might have to put them in that picture. They've lost, what, 1 game?
They've lost 1 game, but they'd have to jump Notre Dame.
Right.
Now, I guess beating Oklahoma, if they beat them up, would be more impressive than Notre Dame beating Stanford. So maybe that's how you get past them.
Wouldn't you say that, though?
What's that?
I would think they have a legitimate shot at that.
They could. Oh, and Xander's telling me that he thinks you had a dream that you were going to get the day off today. He said that didn't really happen. That was a dream.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, you know what? It was when Aton was here.
Oh, okay.
That's when it was. It was when Aton was here.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's when it was.
If Michigan somehow won this game and wins against Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship, they're obviously in. Ohio State would be out.
Yep.
And that's another way, because a 2-loss team in the SEC would get more respect than it would in the Big Ten.
No question about that.
Especially if it's Alabama.
Strength of schedule, yes.
Right?
Is there any scenario in which Cincinnati's out? Because they'll roll their last game. They'll roll over them.
Well, they'll roll ECU. They should beat them by 3 touchdowns, right?
Easy.
But then they have Houston in the championship game. That's not a walkover.
It will be for Cincinnati.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, they're that good. They are that good.
Their defense is good. How about that Ole Miss Mississippi State game? Didn't live up to my pregame hype last night. I was a little disappointed in that.
I want to see. I really, at this point, man, I want to see this playoff scenario, man, just get all screwed up, man. Like Ohio State loses,
and
then Alabama beats Georgia. Now, how will that all work out? That'd be crazy, man.
Well, Georgia would still be in, though, don't you think?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Georgia still be in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They'd only have 1 loss.
Losing this late?
Losing to Alabama. I don't think that's ever a blemish on your record, is it? Oh, the stream is saying that you were having, let's see, turkey. Let's see, what does this say?
Oh, yeah. I don't dream about turkey.
Fever. Turkey fever dreams.
But then you hear, East Canada for life. Yeah, I do dream about White Castles.
Yes. The only thing Barrett dreams about is White Castle, says East Camden for life. I tell you, White Castle needs to be a sponsor of this show. They get more damn reference.
I keep telling Xander, man, he's got to get into it, man.
Somebody's got to go pay a visit to the closest location and say, look, you see this man? Just bring a picture of you.
Man,
he loves White Castle.
I can remember after basketball games when I was in high school.
Right.
After basketball games, we all go to the White Castles.
Right.
And we chill at the White Castles for a little bit before we do whatever we're going to do that night. Yeah. White Castles is always the go-to.
Yeah. Ball 316. I dream of Royal Farms chicken.
They're pretty good too.
That's
now.
pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Royal Farms pretty good. They kind of come over and taking over now over here in Jersey, man.
Oh, they are?
They're giving Wawa a run for their money.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. They're giving Wawa a run for their money, man.
Wow. Scott Patterson says, bye for now. I have zero interest in college football. Well, I feel sorry for you, Scott. I really do.
We love it, man.
Yeah.
We love
All right. Barrett, you got to jet off and have a great broadcast tomorrow. Can the folks watch this at all? Is this on ESPN Plus?
It'll be on ESPN Plus. Yes.
Okay.
So check me out. Calling the game, man.
And it's Missouri State against Tennessee Martin. That was great stuff by Michael Bradley. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the football. Go Birds. And we'll be back on Monday at 11 o'clock.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, we got this.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.